Hi guys, welcome back, Brown here, to my F1 2019 career mode, episode number 10 for the British Grand Prix. Sorry if I sound a bit down in this video. This is literally the 4th time I've recorded the audio because I get it into being able to put it into editing software, and then it just doesn't work, does it? So this is the 4th time. I'm praying and hoping it works this time. You can see from the R&D we're doing some upgrades. We're going to be doing, you already just saw that, an upgrade on the ICE for the wear. Let's go to quality.
Here we are then, waiting for the green light to get qualifying underway for the British Grand Prix. So then, Ant, it's another Grand Prix weekend, another exciting qualifying session ahead of us. What are you going to be looking out for over the next few minutes?
The first question is going to be who can avoid making mistakes. There isn't much margin for error in qualifying, and you have to bear in mind that the track conditions may have changed since practice, particularly as we've had a few support races in the meantime. If the brake bias settings, for example, don't take this into account, it's extremely easy to lock up a front wheel and cause a flat spot. Just like that, your lap's ruined and you've wasted a set of tyres to boot.
So here we go, we're kicking off qualifying in Q1 of course, and straight away you probably will have noticed that I have a new helmet for the British Grand Prix, and just for this race with Silverstone, and obviously this track being my home Grand Prix, so I decided just to spice it up a bit, let's go for a bit of a different helmet to what we've been running with for the past 9 episodes. So yeah, that's kind of the reason behind it. If the helmet that I've been using before this Grand Prix will come back in Germany, so don't worry if you like that helmet. But here we come in qualifying at the end of our final run, first run, sorry. You see we go P4, that's going to turn into P5 after Charles goes fastest, but at the end of the session that P5 is going to turn into a P19. As you can see, we're currently in the drop zone by quite a healthy margin. Across the line we're 4 tenths quicker, and that's going to put us into P9 and comfortably through into Q2. So those out of Q1 then are Raikkonen, Hulkenberg, George Russell, Robert Kubica, and of course Lance Stroll, because it wouldn't be anyone else, would it? Let's be honest. So as we start Q2, across the line on our first run, and that's going to take us into P7 after Bottas demotes us. As at the end of the session, we're down in the drop zone again, P13, round the final corner, across the line, and that's P9 once more. So just about getting through there, and as we skip them to the end of the session, those out of Q2 are Ricciardo, Grosjean, Weber, Magnussen, and our teammate Alexander Albon. We make our first run in Q3. That's only good enough for P10. This was actually right at the end of the session. I had one fresh set of soft tyres, but you can see at the final corner we go very, very wide at club, and that means we don't improve. We were only just up, but we had gone faster in Sector 1 and Sector 2, but we threw it all the way at club by going wide and over the sausage curve. So that is your top 10 for the British Grand Prix. Let's get into it.
We're right back where it all began. The very first World Championship Grand Prix was held here at Silverstone in 1950, with Giuseppe Farina taking the top step of an all-Alfa Romeo podium. He earned 9 championship points that day on his way to the inaugural title. His winning total at the season's end, just 30 points. My, how times have changed. So let's see who can reach the top step of the modern podium today. With good opportunities to overtake at the end of the Wellington and Hangar Straights, there's a lot of potential for close action around the 3.6 miles of the Silverstone circuit. With 18 corners and average lap speeds of around 145 miles per hour, it's also one of the longest and quickest circuits on the calendar. Anthony Davidson, a very warm welcome to you as you join me in the commentary box for today's event. Now, I want to ask you about Lando Norris. As with all the drivers at this level, they have a lot of ambition, but Formula One's a daunting step up from any other series, so expectations are high right from the start.
And this is something that has ended the career of many a young driver, as that leap up to Formula One proves to be too much. But luckily in this case, I'd say they're doing a good solid job, and the risk the team took in signing them is definitely starting to pay off.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Gasly, Max Verstappen and Butler, Perez, Norris, Brown and Daniel Ricciardo, Grosjean, Weber, Kevin Magnussen and Raikkonen, Bottas, Hülkenberg, George Russell and Robert Kubica. Stroll and Alexander Albon picks up the last spot on the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
So the race being a pretty boring one stop here today. From the soft onto the mediums, hitting around the lap 10 mark. We're going to put a bit extra fuel in the car so we can push a little bit more in this race. But here we are, we're ready for the 5 red lights here at Silverstone. It's lights out and away we go. The front two get away well, as in the background there you can see us in that first Toro Rosso, and here we go round turn 1, and we've gone very, very, very wide at turn 1, trying to avoid contact with a McLaren I think it was, but into village and into the loop you can see it was Hamilton by the 2 Ferraris, by the 2 Red Bulls, and we're going side by side with a Renault there, and we're just getting ahead of them. But as they head up through Woodcote and now through Copse, you see everyone fighting through. You can see also down at the back is our teammate. Of course it's our teammate. But as they skip on, you can see we're going wheel to wheel with Daniel Ricciardo heading up towards Copse. And now here we go, he's down our inside, in fact, down our inside at Copse. Fair play to Ricciardo. He's pushed us wide though. And now we're going to wheel with Grosjean, and we've squeezed Grosjean and he's parked it on the apex of, and there's contact with Kimi Raikkonen. What is Grosjean doing? Just parked it on the apex of Beckett's. What is he doing? Oh my god. What is he doing? He's wiped himself out, he's wiped Raikkonen out, and it's just all gone to pot for him. But this is it, riding on board with us. You can see Ricciardo pushes us wide, and then we squeeze Grosjean. I'll admit it, we squeeze Grosjean. There goes Norris down the inside of Sergio Perez, and now he's going to go around the outside of Perez at Luffield. As here comes, here we coming back trying to get past Butler. Sorry, my hands all over the place after this. And here Perez actually defending Butler. Butler defends us, and now we're going to be left defending Ricciardo. Through Maggots and Beckett we go. Maybe we can get a run on Butler, but I think we're just too far back. Butler's going to get a run here though on Sergio Perez. And here comes Devon Butler on Sergio Perez. Going to go to the outside and then switch back to the inside. This is a great race between the two AI. Never really see this, but Perez is going to defend the runner down around the outside, and we're going to go down the inside of Butler, smack the curb as we've got him.
You're in the top 10 now. Keep it up.
Butler trying to re-overtake us now as he's pushed us off the track. We've made a massive mistake. We're going to cross the track. We're off the other side. Butler's gone through. Ricciardo gone through, I think. We're going to squeeze Ricciardo after he squeezed us. Round the outside, we're going to have to go on Ricciardo right on the outside of the loop and now through entry. And Ricciardo is going to get past us, which is annoying. Now maybe even Weber, so we could even lose 3 positions there. We do momentarily, but we do stay ahead of the German. Out of Luffield and get our head down now and start to push after those Renaults. You can see they're side by side, up just ahead. Ricciardo does get past Butler around the outside. Meanwhile, we're trying to stay ahead of Lucas Weber. We skip on then into Brooklands. We're going to go for a great dive down the inside of Devon Butler. This is a great camera angle to see this from, and right round the outside of Devon Butler all the way around Luffield. We've left him from dust on the exit, and now we can push after Danny Rick in the other Renault. Devon Butler is coming under pressure from Lucas Weber as they go into Copse. And you can see there's a Red Bull parked up there. That is of Max Verstappen. You can see him just parking up here. Just went quiet just to listen to it. Nothing engine related, doesn't seem. As here we come now on Danny Ricciardo. We're gonna go right round his outside into Stowe. We've got him before the corner, and that is a lovely move on the Aussie. We're gonna have to defend him into Vale, and we do stay ahead for now. As we skip on a lap later, Ricciardo copy and paste move of what we did to him, and he's got us round the outside before we even get to the corner, and we're back in a Renault sandwich once more for I think the 3rd or 4th time this race. I haven't really been counting, to be honest. But here we go, heading through Woodcote up towards Copse. We're in Danny Rick's slipstream. We pull out the slipstream and go down the inside into Copse, and we've pulled an absolutely amazing move on Ricciardo. As Weber and Butler going wheel to wheel, there's slight contact there. Devon Butler caught napping when he tried to attack Ricciardo coming out of Copse, but he does stay ahead. We skip on a lap later though. Here comes Ricciardo, pulls out to the inside and he tries to go down our inside into Copse. We're still side by side, just about going through Maggots and Beckett's round the outside of Beckett's. We've stayed ahead of Danny Rick, but now we're going to come under pressure again from the 2 Renaults, and they're going to make it 3 abreast heading down into Stowe. Ricciardo in the middle, Butler on the far right of your screen. Butler's gone round the outside of Ricciardo, and we both pit now, and we can take a breather from all the action that is unfolding in front of us. Wow. So as we come in to make our stop, Butler going on to the mediums, just like everyone else. Perry's going on to the mediums as well. You can see our stop in the right hand corner of your screen. And here we come then, trundling down the pit lane. We come out, and hopefully we can pull away from Devon Butler and get chasing after that racing point of Sergio Perez. It would be nice to maybe get Lando Norris. I think he's just out of reach though for us here today. Maybe in Germany, maybe. As we're on our outlets, here comes Lucas Weber, pulled to the inside of Danny Rick into Stowe. Stowe, the favourite overtaking place today, along with Copse. And Weber gets a move done, and he stays out for another lap. So does Ricciardo. As we skip on then a couple laps, and we've caught the back of Sergio Perez quite quickly. Actually, it only took about 3-4 laps. And this is us trying to get past him. We're all over the back of him as Butler gets past Lucas Weber there and is up into P8. But here we come now, lap 15. We've been pushing to get past Perez. You can see us in the clips a minute ago. We're all over the back of him, and here we come. We're going to go for a lunge down the inside. He's going to squeeze us into the apex, but we're not going to worry about that. We're going to go right round the outside of Sergio Perez, all the way around Vale. We've got him in before the second part of Vale, and now round the final corner of Club. We've gone a little bit wide on the exit. Is Perez going to fight back into Abbey? No, he's not. He's going to think better of that. But as we skip on a lap later, he's going to think about re-overtaking us into Stowe Rowley outside. But he backs out of that one and thinks better of it. As we skip on a couple of laps, and Perez's pace was nowhere on the mediums. He had great pace on the soft. You can see the gap we've pulled out, and the fact he's lost out to Devon Butler as well. And to be honest, I just tried to get my head down. I tried to push for Norris, but I just didn't have the pace of that McLaren. As Lewis Hamilton sets a fast lap and wins the British Grand Prix. Rounds the final corner now, and we're going to take 6th place. What a result that is. We had so many battles, we had really good pace on the mediums, and we've brought it home once again.
What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
So Lewis Hamilton then wins the British Grand Prix from Sebastian Vettel, and Charles Leclerc, the top 3 of this race, actually being the top 3 in the driver's standings as well. As down at the bottom, Max Verstappen was our one retirement. You can see Alex Albon still yet to score a single point this season, only finishing 12th. In the drivers, Hamilton now has a 70-point lead, 79 points over Charles Leclerc and 115 points over Valtteri Bottas. Wow. And our little battle, we're 2 points ahead of Magnussen and we're 3 points behind Hülkenberg. We're going to be gunning for him in Germany, obviously Hülkenberg's home Grand Prix. In the constructors, Mercedes have got quite a healthy margin, and we're pretty much carrying Toro Rosso.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. How do things stand between you and Lucas now you've come out on top of your competition? That was a good race for Lucas. Are you pleased to see him doing well? That was a pretty close finish with your old F2 rival. You two are pretty competitive, aren't you? Did you struggle to get through all that traffic today? Appreciate your time.
So back in the paddock, and you can see we've actually won our rivalry with Lucas Weber, which is good. We'll be picking a new rival, I presume, for Germany, for the Hungarian Grand Prix after Germany. But we've got a fair amount of R&D points, but we're not going to be spending any of them in this episode. Just for the fact that we did that upgrade, and I don't really want them to fail rather than turn up. That's pretty much it, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, leave it a like. If you like this sort of content, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell as well so you don't miss a video. If you want to see some different content on the channel, then feel free to leave a comment below. I might for some suggestions. I've got some ideas in my head of what I could do, what sort of videos I could do, but let me know what you want to see in the comments below. But until Germany, goodbye.